I rented the slip next to my wife's boat. Marinas smell like diesel, rope, wet wood. At the gate I read the board. Seraphine Blue Hour Afterlight. One card in my wife's tote had put me here. A guest pass to Pier C, slip 27 Seraphine. Team offsite, she'd said over breakfast, picking goat cheese out of an omelet like a surgeon with standards. Waterfront workspace for brainstorming. Back by midnight. She kissed me and asked the day to behave. I wanted to believe in whiteboards near water. The pass convinced me to rent the slip next door for the night and find out whether I was writing a play in my head or walking into an honest scene. Slip 26 was empty except for a tired day sailor called Briar. The harbor master handed me a key and a grin. "Lines are fresh," he said. "Don't let the gulls negotiate." I didn't lean over. I didn't put my ear to the companionway like a television detective. I tied my lines, double-checked the cleats, and let the dock tell me what it was willing to. That people were alive inside and trying to decide who they were going to be when they came back out. "First time," a voice asked behind me. A woman stood on the finger pier with an open toolbox and the confidence of someone who could make a wrench feel appreciated. "First time renting," I said. "Caleb." "Tessa," she said, "I fix other people's second thoughts for a living. Engines, fenders, occasionally expectations." She glanced at Seraphine. "I like that one. She's honest." "What does an honest boat do?" I asked. "It tells you immediately when you've made a mistake," she said, crouching to tighten a cleat on the opposite side. "Dishonest ones pretend they'll forgive you later." "What brings you to C-26, Caleb?" she asked finally. "Adventure, romance, or petty crime?" "Clarity," I said. "My wife is at a team offsite on C-27. I rented next door so I'd stop writing fiction at home." "Ah," she said, not surprised, not amused. "Sailors don't eavesdrop," she said. "We read flags, we watch wakes, we listen to engines, same skills, less theater." She knuckled a smile. "Want a simple rule, don't perform. The dock hates actors." Seraphine's companionway hatch slid open. Isla came up with a tray of glasses. She wore the sundress I bought her last summer, the one that looks like the color of the hour before storms decide. She saw me. Surprise, calculation, relief crossed her face. "Caleb," she said, voice finding neutral, "what are you doing here?" "Slip 26 had a vacancy," I said. "I needed a place to think with moving water." "Hello," he said. "Ben." His tone landed between polite and probation. I'd seen him once at a holiday dinner for Isla's firm, near the end of a long table where congratulating oneself for surviving the quarter is the dessert. "Client," Isla added quickly, "we're finishing a pitch." The CFO insisted on fresh air. "Fresh air is very popular this year," I said. "We'll be out by 10, he said. "I hear there's a weather window for candor." Tessa coughed something like a laugh into her sleeve, and then found a wrench that required her full attention at the far end of the dock. "Do you want to come aboard for a minute?" Isla asked. Her eyes said, "Don't humiliate us." They also said, "I forgot how to ask for help without hearing someone." "Not yet," I said. "You've got a pitch to finish." I lifted my hand in a gesture I hoped read less like surrender and more like a placeholder. "We'll talk," she said, "after." I set the flashlight on the seat. "Want to make yourself useful?" Tessa asked, reappearing with a spool of, "Help me label this mess of shore power cords. We lost a breaker to a man who thought red meant go faster." We de-labels in quiet. People walked past carrying chilled optimism. "Do you love her?" Tessa asked, like she was asking about an engine that might not have been serviced on schedule. "I do," I said immediately, and the certainty embarrassed me with its lack of sophistication. "Good," she said. "Then don't be noble, be exact." "Is there a difference?" "Nobility poses," she said. "Exactness builds." At 10:05, Isla came out alone. She held her sandals in one hand like someone willing to smell like the place she'd been. She sat on the edge of Briar's cockpit without asking, like an apology. "I shouldn't have made you come here to get the truth," she said. "I should have given you the boring version before it learned to be interesting." "Boring works," I said. "I love boring when it tells the truth in full sentences." "Ben is a client," she said. "He looks at me like I invent solutions. I haven't felt that at home in a while, and I had to realize that was 70% on me. I've been performing competence for you instead of letting you see the mess it costs." She put the sandals down. No kissing happened. No almost happened. But I liked the attention and hid the logistics, and that combination tastes like dishonesty even when everyone keeps their clothes on. "You're allowed to like being seen," I said. "You're not allowed to ask me to become psychic so you don't have to admit it." "That should go on a mug," she said. "We can sell them at the Marina gift shop." "I'm angry," I said. "Not because you're good at your job, because you made me rent a slip to be included." "I'm ashamed," she said, "because I made secrecy the prize for being productive." "Okay," I said. "Then we can use that. Shame is honest." I paused. "Do you want us to turn into a negotiation about tolerances?" "I don't. I want to go back to flirtation and forward to something more adult than fear." "I want that," she said. "But I don't know how to write the rules without turning them into stage directions." Tossed a stubby pencil and a tied chart onto Briar's seat. "Use the back," she said. "Better paper, worse metaphors." Isla picked up the chart, flattened its salt-stiff corners. "Rule 1, she said, writing in small print. "No meetings that require us to pretend we're single, even for an hour." "Rule 2, I said. "If you book a room or a boat, you tell me before the key touches your hand. Not so I can say no, so I can say I'm in." "Rule 3, she said. "We make appointments with each other's bodies in daylight, not just the easy parts, the brains, the pride." "That's a calendar invite I'll accept," I said. "Rule 4, she added, and the pencil paused. "If one of us starts wanting to be wanted elsewhere, we say it the day it's scary, not the month it gets exciting." The pencil hesitated. I took it and wrote, "Rule 5, don't punish with efficiency." She looked at me. "That's your weapon," she said softly. "And yours is being right," I said. "Let's put them both down unless the house is on fire." Ben stepped up onto Seraphine's deck with a backpack and a face that had learned humility the expensive way. "I called a car," he said, not crossing onto Briar. "Thank you for the pitch, Isla. Caleb," he said my name like he'd practiced not sounding like a nemesis. "You have a good boat neighbor." "I do," I said. "She wishes we tipped better." "Do you want to come aboard?" Isla asked again, softer. "I rented this one," I said. "Let's talk here. Then we can walk you to yours like decent pirates." We folded the chart and tucked it away. "Storm at 3 a.m., she said. "If you're staying aboard, double your fenders. If you're going home, take your promises with you." At a red light, she took my hand and put it on her knee, the exact place that still counts as daylight. We didn't make love when we got in. We talked, then let silence work. We stopped before the part that turns into an argument with gravity. In the morning, the tide chart sat on the kitchen table with coffee rings. Isla had added one more line at the bottom in her small engineer print. "Make an invitation before you make an excuse." Under it, she'd drawn a tiny boat and a tiny speaker and set them side by side. I texted Tessa the chart. She replied with a picture of a wrench and the words, "Exact beats noble. If you came for scandal, I owe you a sandwich. What I have instead is a rented slip, a boat that told the truth early, a wife who decided secrecy wasn't a luxury she could afford, and a tide chart with pencil writing that smudged into the shape of us. I don't know if we're experts now. We're underway, no longer pretending calm seas. The dock doesn't like actors. And I know this. The smell of diesel and rope and wet wood can remind you that even sturdy things require maintenance, and that maintenance is not shame. It's love carried out in daylight.